Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Figuratively Speaking. Tonight, we're going to talk all about customs and the amazing things we could do. I am going to bring in, of course, my first guest is going to be Eldor, all the way from Eternia.
Good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening. I am going to bring in a very special guest tonight. He is Jerry D from Deeplex Customs, and his customs are also extremely amazing.
Thank you so much, man.
How are you?
Fine. Thanks so much for having me, dude.
Not a problem. Again, man, I enjoy seeing all your stuff there on IG, and I've really got a burning question. In fact, Eldor, this is a burning question for you as well as Broman. Looks like he stepped out for a second. Okay, here he comes. Back in. He will get in there. All right. Broman, give me the thumbs up when you are ready, when your camera is operating correctly.
He's probably getting himself a pot of tea there.
Yes.
I got my Earl Grey here already.
Yes. All right. And my next special guest tonight is Broman. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Thank you for being here.
What's up, bro, man?
All right. So my burning question is, what gives you all the inspiration to do the customs you do? Broman, I'm going to start with you, sir.
I don't know. What I say is, what would they look like if I seen them walking down the street? So I opposite of Filmation. Filmation can never sue me because when I do things like it would be more of an adult take on the lore. I can imagine Eternity being a very brutal and violent place. A lot of battles, a lot of you get and sorcery mixed together. You never know what you're going to get.
That's true.
So,
indeed.
Okay, Jerry D.
That's a good question, man. It's changed over the course of the last few years since I've been doing customs. It kind of started with, returning to, getting the classic story of getting my collection out of my mom's attic and just getting back into it that way. And then just like trying to dabble, of course, like the first few customs I made were like your classic Wondar and that type of thing.
Right.
And what really inspires me to do it is like the community, the response I get from the community, and the community like to see the other customizers and their customs. Like it really inspires me. I have like my favorite customizers, but I love posting something that I'm really proud of and having the community, respond positive to that. I really love that. Other than that, just kind of artistic inspirations here and there, my own imagination, or just, maybe certain releases that they come out with that I want to. I tend to stick to vintage customs. So, like for example, I just did my take on the Masterverse Grizzlore, but I do things like that as well.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Eldor.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot there.
Yes, sir.
Well, I just like to get a bit creative, really. Usually, I do customs that have not come out yet. Like you there, sir. You mentioned your Masterverse Grizzlore there. Yes, sir. I also did my own Masterverse Grizzlore. He's still a little bit of a work in progress, though. I bought her two of the new Masterverse Grizzlores that had just been announced there and are starting to pop up. And yes, I'm getting a second one there to get his boots off him, to put on my custom there, and the arm strap as well. And yes, I'm going to take off the black wrist braces to put on my Masterverse Wonder here, joining me on the screen there today. But, yes, indeed, I like to get a bit creative there and see what I can do. Sometimes things might inspire me there, like one custom I did of using a Mythic Legions figure and parts from another one there, and getting inspired for the armor coloring of Thorin Oakenshield's armor from the Hobbit movie there, and inspired by his the color of his armor. So I based the paint application on my my bronze dwarf Legion Builder figure armor on that color there. So yes, I'll dabble here and there for
Put that back up, bro, man.
But, yes.
I have to get his light back on right. This is an Orko that I did a while back. That if you all can see.
Oh, that is nice.
And my Orko
Nice.
Very nice.
And you can't really see. It's the aura, it's the light of the magic that is his actual face, more so than a face. So you can just see a kind of a glimpse of the magic that is Orko.
Nice.
Very nice.
And
Yes,
I do
well done,
1/6 scale figures. That I got teased in a live once. It said that if you use materials, then they're dolls. So I definitely don't consider what I do dolls, but I kind of got a lot of I got some criticism about that. Them being if it could fit in a Barbie vehicle, then it's a.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. John, you tell me. I just did a redo of my Two-Face. Very hard. I think my ring work is the best.
Oh, nice.
Metal. And then this is all die-cast metal.
Wow.
I mix mediums. When I can score die-cast metal weapons, I buy them.
Yeah.
It's I use leather. That's real leather and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just do what would be the most realistic take on the piece.
Nice.
Indeed.
I'm just learning as I go on. I've been doing customizing for 12 years, but I've been basically solely just doing it multi stuff, and I love it. I love it.
Usually, I don't really do the custom figures. It's only been in the last year or so I picked it up at my. Although one I do recall was one of those pop vinyl figures you can get that are blank and you can customize it up to do your own thing. That was probably my first ever custom, but it more or less started last year with a few Masters of the Universe customs, and then I before that I did dabble in some diorama pieces or some custom play sets, which are still a bit of a work in progress there.
Nice.
Indeed, I am a bit of a sculptor usually and stuff, and trying to apply what I normally use that for onto the action figures here and there.
Wow.
In fact, I got a bit of a screen share there, John, sir. If you'd like to put that up there.
Yes, sir. That's good.
So here we have the Mythic Legions custom I did using the bronze dwarf Legion builder there.
Wow.
And, so that was combining the spare head you got with the figure Obscura Father Christmas figure with the bronze dwarf Legion builder there. And yes, so I added some custom hair coming off his mustache that was more or less already there. I just had to add the little wraps to bind the hair up there, and sculpted the two tufts of hair coming off the beard either side. And yes, I added a bit of fur under his pauldrons there, and indeed just under the side skirts. And
nice.
The shield there was another bit of sculpting work. I sculpted this little spiky piece in the center, and then after that was set, I just added these panels of wood, I suppose you would say. I sculpted all the wood grain in there and what have you.
Wow.
And oh yes, I added a bit more of a schnoz onto his face there, you might say.
So when you do those, Eldor, when you're adding, in fact, I'm asking everyone, when you add things to the character, what do you use to mold, like anything that you add to the plastic?
Oh, good question there, sir. I use one or two materials. Sometimes I use the milliput, or in this case, I use the Tamiya epoxy putty. But they're both similar. The Tamiya stuff tends to sit a bit more of a hard rubbery state, whereas the milliput it hardens a bit more like a stone, you might say.
Okay.
It's a two-part putty you have to mix together in your fingers and so forth to get the consistency all mixed in and so on. And you need a bit of water there because it's a little bit sticky sometimes. So you have a little cup of water beside you. You dip your fingers in there, and it helps it to do this and that. And sometimes I'll sculpt little bits at a time, so I'm not ruining what I've sculpted before. So I let that area sit, and then I work on some more sculpting. But usually with the milliput, there seems to take to itself more better, I think. This stuff you have to do it more or less in one sitting, yeah, but it takes a longer while to set. Whereas the milliput, you have that an hour's working time before it starts going through its various stages there and what have you.
Okay.
Wow.
And then you can use your various tools there and so on. This is a custom a character statue I'm doing for the sorceress there of my own design. And she uses mostly milliput. She had a wire frame. And what have you. And I built some areas up with tin foil. And then I just molded the milliput epoxy putty around that. There, and I've got patterns I made for her sort of a one-piece swimsuit, almost like design. But from about here on upwards. She'll have like a blue sleeve like she has in the filmation, sort of coming off about here, and then you have the whites of the one piece suit, and she'll have a bit of a gold pendant just sitting here on the chest, and there's the Zoar her headpiece there.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
So
nice.
this was a bit more of a task to do. You see, I
Wow.
had to add these bits on while everything was still sitting on her. You see, so I covered all this area up with masking tape, and I folded some masking tape around to prop these pieces here up, so they would sit more or less in that formation. You see, but on the headpiece there, that was a flat piece, so I kind of drew a bit of a flat template, and then I molded the milliput in around there. But over the template, I put some strips of clear sellotape just to separate the paper pattern from the putty. You see, because I don't want the putty sticking to the paper, of course. And yes, so after doing that, I just put a bit of water on a thin box cutter blade and just gently slid that off the pattern, and yes, I worked it around the head I had already sculpted there, but I covered the head in a bit of glad wrap just to again separate some of the areas from the milliput that I was sculpting around. Just lay the basic shape of the Zoar headpiece around her head there, and I held that in carefully with a little bit of tape just to hold its shape there. But otherwise, yes, I used masking tape just to hold these flowing feather pieces in their form. And I did while I was doing that, I did a light bit of feathering texture over top of this side. But I'll go on the underside at some stage to do the same thing. But yes, once your main piece is all sort of all set there, then you can go and add like these pieces in, like the beak here and all these little crisscross pieces in this bit of cutout detail on the triangle there.
That is
Very
so
nice.
nice.
So yeah,
I'm going to jump in real quick. I want to say hello to everyone in the chat. Ostradamus, Oz from Ostradamus Toys. Hello, sir. Thank you for being here at the stream. Of course, we got our very own Master Versal Toy Hunter also in the stream. Also on the stream. Let's see.
two
Thanos
places at once.
Copter. Yes. Thanos Copter, hello. Thank you for being here at the stream.
Yeah.
Goodness,
Carol Geis, hello. How are you? Thank you for being here on the stream. Going through. Cobweb, my friend, hello. Thank you for being here. Thanks for joining the stream. Coming down further.
Cobweb, sir.
From Dawning of
Thomas
the Decade. Oh, thank you for being here.
Oh, Dawn. Good
Allison Troy, greetings. How are you? Thank you for being here on the show. It's definitely a different show from what I normally put on, so I hope I definitely enjoy it. All right.
I hope you're feeling much better there, Dawn.
Yes, absolutely.
So yes, just quickly, there's Grizzlor there of the Masterverse. So I sculpted the Horde logo and of course the face.
Wow.
The face was sculpted over top of a Stinkor Masterverse Stinkor head there. And,
Oh wow!
So yes, then there was all milliput sculpted in the head there. But I did the teeth last. So once all that had set, I added the teeth there, and yes, so. Shaping, I did as I mentioned, how I did the sorcerer's headpiece was a similar method I used to sculpt the base of the Horde logo. And once I had shaped that over a body piece, after I wrapped that body up in glad wrap there, just again to separate the putty from the figure. And yes, I added the horde arc like head over top and what have you. But yes.
Nice.
So how did you do the fur? Did you dye that, or?
Oh no, the fur you bought as it was, just a synthetic fur you can buy from a bit of a craft shop there, a hobby shop, and yes, you can buy the little off-cut rolls there for about $24.99, and there was a leftover scraps I had from a bit of a costume I had done. See, normally I'm a bit of a costumer or cosplayer, you might say, as you see here.
No.
No, of course not. It's the real me.
as I just got my Grizzlor from BBTS in today. So that's why I asked you about the fur, because the fur definitely looks a lot different from the fur that's in this.
Yes. You see that they did that one, much like how you have the fur on the new Attorney Beastman there. It's just sort of a wrap that goes down over top. Well, for the fur here, I made a little pattern using masking tape, you see. So you can cover masking tape over a portion of the figure's body there to make your pattern with. And because everything is much more or less symmetrical, you can do a half pattern, then just pull the masking tape off. And when you're done, and then you put it onto a bit of paper. But if you have more form in your pattern, then you design little cut lines there just to cut the pattern up once you've pulled the masking tape off the figure there. And then you can lay it out more flat, you see. And then you can add that onto a bit of paper there to make a much more easier template to work with. And then, yes, I just laid that over the fur on the back and cut that out. But when you cut fur, you see you cut from the back there, but as close to the mat that the fur is attached to as possible, so you don't lose you don't lose too much fur there when you're cutting things out. And so I glued the loin fur area on first, and then I haven't glued the main body fur. That's just still folded about at the back there and held in place, as you see here by the makeshift harness, because I didn't really have a Grizzle harness there, and yes, I just sort of hacked up a bit of a coat robe there, I believe, from the Trapjaw, Masterverse Trapjaw figure there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yes, when I was molding in the head there, I just made a little bit of allowance there for tucking the fur in at the sides.
Yeah.
What happened? I did that in little layers. You see, I glued the fur up from the back there, starting from the back and just layering it over top of each other till I got to the top of the head. So I had that sort of nice form and body there, if you will. And then just glued these side hair bore type pieces. Yes, he hasn't had a haircut in a while. Well, the side balls growing out there.
How did you form the top, like to get it like smoothed out like that? Did you put any product on it or anything, or is it?
Oh no, not really. Just use the aerosol glue. It's another 2-part substance there. You get 2 tubes of the glue and you mix it together, and it sort of sets like a hard resin almost.
Oh.
Yes, I use that glue on all these pieces here, and it's similar to what I did with my Koldar Masterverse Koldar custom when I had to make the shoulder pieces that jut out and so forth, which I cut off a Prince Adam Origins figure because we hadn't really had an armor piece that has the shoulder pieces shooting out from either side. I'm just trying to. There he is. So right here, these were the shoulder pieces of that Origins Prince Adam there, and you can use the glue to fill in some of the joints to try and make it more sort of uniform sometimes. But yeah. But on Koldar here, Again, the visor I did in some of the ways I mentioned with the sorcerer's headpiece and the horde logo there, and you just sort of wrap it around on your piece. And I also molded the horns to be a bit bigger. Of course, this was using the new Eternia He-Man or the Viking He-Man head sculpt there, and I sculpted the beard onto that. And yeah,
Wow,
so that's all really.
that's great. That is great.
Yeah, I'm working.
Today. I've got a new motor around here today, but I didn't get a chance to, and I'm working on the old modem. I'm sorry about the sketchiness, but we're going to get it done.
Oh, you're good, bro, man. Yeah.
The internet, yes.
My internet loves to cut out a lot.
Oh, I see.
Right.
Yes, was it the max headroom effect? They call it.
Now, I will honestly say, like, what drew me to Deeplex Customs when I first got on IG, I have to say before I had really checked out and subscribed to your channel on there. I didn't know who had done it. I seen that Skelmo, which I thought was absolutely fantastic. And so I love that.
Yeah, I think this is the only like mashup I've ever done. This little guy here.
Yeah, man.
Bill,
I can't remember. Yes. And then, of course,
put him
you have his little prop.
All right.
Skelmo.
Yes.
I can't remember what sparked me to do him, to be honest. But this head is, I found a Tickle Me Elmo. I'm sorry, not a Tickle Me Elmo. It's a bobblehead Elmo I found. And I just pulled his head off, man. And I use these little rubber grips a lot. They're from paintbrushes.
Yes.
The little rubber grip on a paintbrush.
Okay.
I've used them for all kinds of things, believe it or not. But anyways, it fits perfectly for this. It just works really well. And that was it.
Oh.
Well, yeah, Skelmo, man. The evil Muppet of Destruction.
Yeah,
that's the only mashup I've done.
I love that. Like, as you can see, I turned around and I did buy my own.
Nice.
And what I did is what I'm doing. I'm going to do an anti-Eternia Skelmo.
Whoa, nice.
Oh yes.
So
Totally
I started with that, and maybe I should go the route you did with the little rubber things for the thing. But I used a Dremel, and I dremeled out the hole so I could put it right on the ball and click it in.
Nice.
Which seems to work just fine. But I need to get some O-rings and drop it up inside the head because I made it just a little bit wide.
Yeah.
Yes, I found that the Dremel tool is a very handy device there to use. You can clear unwanted space there to make room for something else to hold things in, and or drill holes here and there, or even carve into existing more sculpts and what have you.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've used a Dremel quite a bit. It's like you said, they're great for drilling out parts or drilling out spaces. This is my light up, my LED evil horde Roboto.
Oh, very
Oh
good.
yeah,
Man.
so I use the Dremel a lot, and I don't know if you can really see it, but It's perfect. Like for just getting out the, just the right amount of material to fit your little. I'm always on the. I love the Dremel, but that's my evil horror.
Very excellent.
And I got the heart.
God.
The heart's on front because every custom I do, I like mess it up somehow. But then I just go with it. And so I drilled the hole on the wrong side to begin with, for like the switch. So I ended up covering it up with the heart on the front, upside down, of course,
Nice. That is
I always mess something up, and then it turns, then I just like, it turns into something that was.
That's
better.
a big part of Roboto is heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of people don't. I'm actually working on a Roboto. I won't unveil it until I'm finished. I've done one, but I'm redoing all of the things that I've done. I'm redoing again with bodies, returns, some goodies here and there. This is, I call it my tax return hobby. So
Yeah.
so everybody can understand it. That is always last on the list. You don't get to play too much, but I've been fortunate and blessed enough to be able to go and get a few things I need for. And the wife is very supportive of a few 1-year-old man making these figures.
See, I've been modifying this Batman figure here, which is the of the 30 centimeter figure you get from the old Spin Master. So this one's modeling the cape modification that I'm working on at the moment. So I bought 2 of these figures, you see, because eventually I'll cut the figure's arm up to get the swivel joints off the arm there, because on the inside of the bicep I notice they've attached it by a little bit of a mushroom peg, so you can't really pull it out unless you split the plastic at the seams there. So I'll be getting those out to put in the ankle articulation, because I've gone and cut the feet off there to give it the your ankle pivot and forwards and back. But yes, I had to use a Dremel to get in on the inside of the upper torso there to give the ab crunch to fit a mechanism in there. So I had to Dremel these posts that join the plastic together out of there, so I can fit this assembly, which will be made up of a Masterverse figure He-Man of the Revelation He-Man that first came out, to make use of his swivel connection here for the ab crunch.
Yes.
And also for the waist swivel part of the mechanism, where you can see there's still a bit of the crotch part attached to the overall torso piece. So that will sort of roughly all fit in there like that. So he has his ab crunch and what have you. So yes, a lot of cutting up and dremeling indeed.
So my question is, because I'm starting to dabble in it. Like right now, as far as my customizings, what I'm customizing right now is like clothes. I'm using fox leather, and I'm using other materials to make capes and hooded capes and whatnot, whatever. So when you take these figures apart, how do you take them apart without literally just destroying the figure?
Oh, good question.
Very carefully.
Yes, as Bill says. So this Batman here, to get the cape off, I had to come around to the back and using one of those flat-headed screwdrivers there. And you gently lever up with the screwdriver there until you hear a slight cracking of the glue going up the side. So I had to lever that up and then sort of carefully jiggy it around under the head there, and you sort of lift up, and then that back piece comes off, and when you get around to the front, you have to turn the head backwards So he's looking the wrong way around there. So you have to lever the head down that way as well as levering up just at the sides there where the plastic comes around the bat symbol, because it's all tucked in under the back of the head there. And then once you get all that off, you can remove the cape and add your own cape in there, your own design and what have you. But of course, putting these pieces back on, you see, you have to put them in exactly the same manner as in which you remove them.
Okay.
When I when I open a vintage figure, if I have to open one up, then I've done it the old-fashioned way with a hammer and removing the arms. And I'll tell you, that's worked for me. It doesn't completely open them. Sometimes I'll have to take like a razor blade and finish the job. But I crack it until you hear that crack of the glue.
I had to take a bit of a razor blade to remove that upper piece of the torso of the He-Man figure, so I'd get to what we see here. Just cutting around the seams and using the old screwdriver to pry them apart. That was a tough job.
Now, Jerry D, you've got an amazing battle cat that you did with LEDs.
Yes.
I
do.
Yes, I did one as well. Oh, very interesting.
Oh, did you, Eldor?
Yes, the faker. I put an LED in the head on one side there, on the robot exposed side. Oh.
Let's grab him up here.
Oh, all great minds think alike, as it seems.
All right. Sorry.
Oh, yes, you don't want things falling over.
Yeah, I made it's a jungle attack faker, and then the duplicate.
Oh, yes. Oh, you got all the internals showing through there, just as I did. Yes.
So I have this one, the switch is kind of gives me issues. It takes me like 100 times to get the light on. But I don't really feel like replacing the switch. But it does eventually comes on. But my favorite part of this dude is the Big Jim tiger tooth necklace or whatever it is that I use as an accessory. I kind of really like that Big Jim effect. It's not the best video, you can't see it, but the cat also has he lights up too. Let me show you. I could just take it apart. He comes right apart fairly easily, and I got his switches, and he switches right on. I got 4 different lights on them.
That's
there we go.
Fantastic.
Sorry. Yeah, so it's hard to see, I guess, but so that all goes back in there, and also his eyes light up, and also I have a Bluetooth speaker right here. Oh. And so it's so awesome, dude. I wish I was ready for it, but I can put like lion, roar, anything, anything I can put through here. I made like secret messages from Skeletor to Faker. And then often I'll just have the lights on and I'll just put some music through it and I'll just use it as a little radio. But also his feet are can anyone recognize his feet?
Is that that I want to say those are from no, that's not Voltron.
The Stilt Stalkers.
Oh, of course, yes.
Yes.
And then also I have a piece where you can I'm sorry, I can't get used to cover them up. So you can cover up the So yeah, man. That's that. I wish I could get this switch to
Excellent.
work.
Yes. Well, you've got him lighting up too, have you?
All right. So
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite piece is my jungle attack duplicate with the lights and everything. In fact, I know you can't. I'll turn the light off because it's kind of you can't see the light bar right now. It's like hold on a second.
Not a problem.
This that green. Can you see this? I had I had see it's green. The lights inside are green, but I bought like a green dye, like a UV dye that
Yep.
was wicked cool. I put it in there, like I injected it, and it like it turned water green, a UV dye green, and it was really awesome. But it just like evaporated after a couple weeks. So, but it
Oh, wow.
still looks cool and very green with the
Yes,
lights in there. You probably can't. You can't really see it, but.
Oh, jolly clever. Yes, so
Yeah.
there's my duplicate there.
Yeah.
That,
A little while ago.
Wow.
So we had the exposed head there, and
I've seen that's gorgeous, man.
and different exposed areas in the body. You can have your mechanism details, and I had to put the battery pack at the top there because I figured you don't really see much when the harness the saddle is attached. You see, so I thought it might be a prime spot to put the battery pack. Yeah. So just those seed LED lights you can buy from Amazon, I suppose, or a shop that's selling Christmas decorations at the time. And yes, you just switch the old switch on there, and I don't know if you can see it all that well, but there we go. His eye
turns
lights
red
up there on the one side. So that was a bit of a job to do indeed, because I had to melt several locations in the back of the neck there. So one big hole here just to see where everything was. But seeing the different swivel points of the neck, there's like a little bit of I suppose, a wall that you have to melt through as well. And I used one of those wood pokers, irons that you use to make your little wood poker designs. And I suppose a chopping block or something at school or in the craft class there. And yes, I had to melt all this hole out here, and then melt the hole, starting to make a little bit of a channel so I could pull the string LEDs through, you see, to eventually, because I melted a big hole in the head there, obviously, to lay in all that millifoot sculpting I did there. So I had that to melt a hole coming from this end to link up with all the holes I'd made out here to move those LED strings through. And yes, just like I said with that sorcerer's headpiece, I did a similar thing here, but I covered half of the head with masking tape on the this is a panther. It started as a panther there on the origins line. And yes, I drew my designer once I laid the masking tape over the head there and just pulled all that off, and I made a wee template out of that as I'd gone through prior. So yes.
So is that a Origins Panther, or is?
Yes, sir. Yes. And I still had the articulation in the head, which is what you have to be careful with when you're melting holes through things. You don't want to fuse the plastic to another piece of plastic there. So it was a very touch and go, careful process there. And so yes, I still had the articulation in the head there with the LED still going, as you can see. And yes, the jaw still goes. But I used, once I exposed some of that side there, the plastic, the way it was set up, looked a bit mechanized, you might say. So I incorporated that into the exposed robotices that you see coming through there.
That is
but the painting of it was the hard part. Yes, I can't articulate the legs, otherwise I'd be scraping the paint off. I have heard in the Mythic Legion circles that some people, they use their Dreamwall tools to take a little bit of that plastic of the joints down where it rubs it against another part to avoid the paint being taken away there and so forth.
Wow. Yeah.
And
That's
yes,
something.
yes. So this is my favorite part here. I whittled most of that leg down till I was left with a little post and a little stubby foot piece
Wow.
there. So I use that as a bit of a foundation for strength of the miller foot when I sculpted around it to make the robot paw and what have you.
Wow.
So
Nice.
I find it amazing because, like, you all have found nicks and knacks to pulling these things apart. And with the price of these figures, now granted, I'll buy one or two.
yes.
I don't buy one. If I don't buy at least two, it stays in the package. So, like, just to show it off, the funny story is that I went on eBay and I was supposed to be getting a Battle Cat so that I could do a Battle Cat rendition of the he's Skeletor. I wanted to do the Battle Cat for that, which is purple and black. So I only paid $17 for it, and the gentleman that the seller that I bought it from, he sent me the wrong product. And he's like, no, I actually intentionally did that because I ran out of my Battle Cats. So what he sent me was a Battle Lion for $17, which was amazing. And considering what I know, what it goes for, one on the secondary market, not to mention.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
So
Nice.
this is going to be my first animal recreation that I want to do. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it, but as I go through, and Broman, as I see your stuff, Eldor, as I see your stuff, and Jerry D, as I see your stuff on IG, it's just giving me so much inspiration to see what I can do with my own. Because again, I've only dabbled in making the clothes. Clothes and armor is easier than messing with the figure and pulling it apart and trying to make it your own at the same time, so you don't break the little delicate things.
Right.
Yes, I was hitting the sewing machine there last night.
Yes. So like I know Eldor here, he's doing a Snake Mountain from what is it from?
Oh yes, I thought I'm also into doing my like playset type setups. I'm working on a larger Castle Grayskull playset that has all the odds and ends working and so forth, and I'm also working on what I would think to be an 87 Snake Mountain there that you might have seen in that old movie there. So I might just pull that up there because I have that already. And there it is. If you'll be so kind to put that up there, sir.
Yep, here it comes.
So yes,
Wow.
here's a little look there at the Snake Mountain 87 concept that I sort of came up with. I was inspired by the first lot of scenes you see, of course, in the first Blade Runner film, where you are traveling over the cityscape there, and you come to this big ominous building there with all the lights showing and so forth. So it's just in a bit of a black base coat start at the moment. I still have a few cornering pieces to add there, so there's not much paint on the sides there and what have you. But I cut the two windows out, and I have one of those seed LEDs you saw me using in that battle camp there, just strung around the inside. And I've made some little landing bays there for the Roton. So there's one main one here, and then there's a main entranceway into the main tower there, a Snake Mountain, and there's the snake going up there. So I did that with several bits of cardboard at first, So one bit was the sort of more vertical shape, which I worked out there, and then the second and third pieces were the more flatter uh, uh, or horizontal pieces, just to make a bit of a guide for where I wrapped up with this old cardboard tube. It was I suppose, a Christmas wrapping tube there. I just unraveled all the little sections that make the tube up, and I cut smaller strips there, and just worked that away, and also made a wee cutaway there for some of the windows to show through. And there's a couple of little sections where there's struts, just detailed struts there to make everything look like it's been reinforced there and what have you. And over this side, of course, I'll have the demon head there, and his nose will make a bit of an overarch over the main passageway up to the front entrance there. And this will make up another side of the mountain there, and that will have a little landing port for Skeletor's main ship there and what have you. And down here, I've made a little cut where I'll have this side of the wall will have some rock formation there, because we've got to have the mountain part of Snake Mountain, as they say. So I have some. I'm thinking I might use EVA foam there and cut it up into making it look like a rocky formation. And this cave here will have lava flow coming out eventually. And I thought I'll have the rickety bridge, bridging a little gap there between another little path I'll have leading up the side. And this is another couple of angles. So then that main path there will come down and wrap all the way around there. And this main support here for that formation and the demon head that will go on top will have a lava glow shining up from the base there on the inside. So you have the ready glow coming up the sides there and at the back. And yes, I do have a concept drawing I made of this, where I've got little posts holding up a sort of a formation similar to this part here, but coming out to make a bit of a bridge between the two areas of Snake Mountain there, and that will have lights, and there'll be a series of 3 posts coming up from the inside of the base, and they'll have some snakes holding up the posts there, similar to what I will have holding the snake up there at the top, which I believe I have a photo here or a video somewhere. So yes, you can see here that this will cradle the snake at the top there. So I'll have a similar thing going on, where in the fronts will have more like a cobra like head at the top here, and the rest will make the tail, and that will cradle that sort of bridge section there, and so forth. And then there's just a little bit more work I did covering some detail over the snake there and so forth. But yes.
So is that outside covering cardboard?
Yes, so that's the cardboard tube there wrapping around, and then I just detailed with little strips of cardboard just glued on and so forth.
There we go.
Yeah, that is absolutely amazing.
And I've got some little structural detail there. I envisioned this sort of like maybe a bit of a steel statue or a bronze statue or something, but made out of metal there at least.
Now, see, I know
He'll have fangs there eventually. Yes.
I know you've got some really steady hands that are all door. There's no way I could do that.
When they decide to play ball with me, of course. Well, you know how my arthritis acts up there sometimes.
That is beautiful.
And that's cardboard?
Yes. Mostly cardboard. Just scraps that I keep from time to time. I have a bit of a box there, and I just
I can work from a pattern, but I can't do that. I can't do that like you can. Just
No.
straight out make it out of your mind. I mean, I could work from a pattern.
Well, yes. I start with a bit of a pattern there.
how
made a little pattern for most of the base pieces up, and
Yeah, that's
But
just
indeed, it is easier to work from a pattern, I grant you, yes. I made a pattern for the back cape here that I'm working on. It's got some wire I just sewed in there last night, so I can do his iconic, scaredy back thing to lure the crooks and the bad guys, and have to go back a bit, and there you can
nice.
have it resting on his arm there as he lifts his arm up there to scare off the crooks and what have you. Yes, I just get myself sorted there, and yes, you can have him holding it out, and so on, and yes, it just drapes down the front, of course, when he's not scaring people.
That is amazing. So, Broman, is there anything special you're working on right now?
I redid. Well, I worked on a Keldor actually, and this is
Yes,
my Keldor. If you can see it, I don't know if the light, if it's lit enough here.
Whoa.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man.
His arm is looking good indeed.
I
Chainmail there.
Yes.
This is from an old purse. You're going to see this a lot on my figures. This is a piece of rubber on the side. This is from a transformer. These are my wife's old earrings. This is an old I don't know what, oh no, it's from an old ring.
I see.
Wow.
And then there's some leather work in there. Of course, the sword.
Nice.
And that.
Yeah.
Is that sword from those little replicas you can buy there, sir? I know you can buy them.
Yes, that's what I use for my
Is that it?
Yes, absolutely. And it go from my skeletal.
Whoa. Wow.
Wow.
Very good indeed.
Wow.
You can use jewelry for anything, as it seems. Jewelry, yes, I never thought of
That's
that.
the Kyle Ren. Open for old party jeans. Remember jeans were real popular with the skulls? This is for my wife's old purse. Anything that I could use that was a skull that was hers, I just salvaged it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's where I say the support really does come in at. That's more of a zombie. This is a fresh Skeletor, still a little meat on his skull.
Whoa.
The skull color of a skull, what would happen. I try to go as realistic as possible. The eyes are just robbed of the pupils color, but you can still see out of them. He still has eyeballs at this point.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Try to make it as graphic as possible, because if you've seen Skeletor in real life, it would not be a pleasant thing.
Right.
No, especially if you get the old acid on your face there. Oh, dear.
Right. And lastly, I just completed my Manny faces that I just redid with a better body.
Oh.
You can see.
Have you got his head turning around there?
Oh, it does. I just was trying to show you the all of.
Oh, yes.
This is from a Transformer as well. I go to the local thrift stores and destroy Transformers. Back here is
That's a
it's
good
like
place to go.
red,
Yes.
yeah, a red leather piece, and then at the front it's blue. He's an actor, a thespian, so he wants to be very dramatic. But
Of
I
course.
can turn his head just
Oh, very clever. Oh,
and his helmet is actually the toddler safety the doorknobs for toddlers.
oh yes.
Oh wow!
If you have,
Oh
if you
yeah.
have a toddler, yeah.
Brilliant.
I had to
Brilliant.
think about what would I use for his look, his helmet, and I just seen them because I have plenty of these lying around.
That is
And
amazing.
how do you
Very,
how
very
do you make
ingenious.
something
Yeah.
that you don't have the blueprints for? How do you make a two-headed figure? How do you make somebody with four face? You don't have the prints to do it because the ones that are easy or easier are the ones that have to do all those changes. Is before the helmet. You know that's easy. You just basically have a guy who's, a couple of Mandalorian pairs of Mandalorian boots, but you have a man who has been recently blinded. How is he going to go through, navigate through life, and he's still a warrior? Very, very brutal world that they live in. But of course, he does eventually get his visor.
Oh, Triclops. Wow.
That's amazing.
And if you look closely, what they use for the visor, gentlemen, if you can look closely and see, that is a foil cap.
What is it?
I think it's frozen up there. Oh no, he's back.
Royalty cap.
Oh, that's it.
I do like that chain around the waist there. Yes.
You said a Crown Royal cap?
Oh.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
very excellent. Yes.
But the textures, I look for texture in
Yes,
a thing.
indeed.
I try
That's
to
brilliant.
do texture and see, what I can do with it, where I can go with it.
Oh yes, but Bill's having the same issues there with the StreamYard.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm having it, but
Mechanic.
oh, got Mechanic there, have you? Oh yes.
And I try to go with the same color scheme so people do know at least what I was trying to shoot for.
Oh yes, I see. Yes.
That's wild.
That is wild.
Also,
Is that your head on him?
Yeah. It's actually I got this head at Frank and Sons in LA or at City of Industry.
Oh,
Oh,
Frank and
Like
Sons.
the James
Yes.
Fox kind of, but it kind of looks like a Jamie Foxx, but because if I have a 3D printer, but I don't have a 3D scanner, I would be a superhero, definitely. It's the closest thing to me I think there is.
Yes,
I
when
don't
you
know.
have a 3D printer, you can do pretty much anything you like. Yes.
Right, and I'm afraid to get I could only imagine what it's going to be like when I get my scanner. But
you
yeah,
won't know what to do with yourself, sir.
won't know. But these are all pieces from old toys. I make and repurpose the armor, make everything again. I've been doing that since I was a little guy.
This is just amazing.
And this is
I do like the glasses you had on him, sir. The goggles there, they look rather good.
Just regular 90s G.I. Joe goggles that just no big deal. But I did.
Is this your King Grayskull there?
This is my version of King Grayskull. I know it's King Ezekiel from Walking Dead, but hey, I figure
anything goes.
the dreads were pivotal in the creation. And what I did with the sword was I made the sword, I painted the sword original. I have, what is that on there? I painted it original, both colors, silver and purple.
Oh, it's in the two halves almost. Oh, yes.
So these are the two halves of the actual power sword together and not separate. King Grayskull, he's the original. So I painted them both.
So, how did you? Do they actually make a figure of Ezekiel?
They did. They did.
I have not seen it, and I have actually been collecting some of the Walking Dead figures.
I think it's 3-0, but don't quote me. A third party, they always
a cup of tea there myself.
Good stuff. My version of Sunman.
Oh, yes, Sunman.
Oh.
Did you use the wings off Wonder Woman there, I wonder?
I did. These are Wonder Woman.
Oh, excellent. Yes.
But there were no better wings in the 1/6 scale community to use. Like my web store, I use the Iron Spider's arms. I plan on doing what is the wasp people, the bee people?
Adrenids?
Adrenids, yeah.
Buzz off. Yeah, I plan on doing buzz off by using Ant-Man and the Wasp wings. That'll be my buzz off.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
And I'm working on a Whiplash as well. This head is an old school Fred Williamson blaxploitation head sculpt. And thank you, Doctor. I thank everybody for their support because everybody keeps us doing what we're doing. Everybody keeps, I appreciate you, figuratively speaking, for even allowing me on your platform. I'm humbled to be here amongst you all, to be able to just talk toys, man.
A pleasure to have you, sir.
It's definitely a pleasure to have you. Again, I'm actually just building my platform. I've been doing it for a couple of months now. So again, just really trying to get into the toy community, not just trying to build my channel, but wanting to network with everybody who's out here doing what they do. Yeah, there's so much talent out here, and it needs to be exposed. Because it's not just the adult collectors, but these kids take a look at the artistry that us older collectors are doing, and it gives them something to do rather than what they're doing out on the street. lights all day.
Indeed.
You know,
Yeah.
I always just, I brought my kids into Masters of the Universe, Brave Star, Transformers, just bringing them into it. My youngest daughter, she absolutely loves Brave Star now. Like, that's the first thing she wants to do before she does her homework. And Dad, can I watch a couple episodes of Brave Star, and then I'll shoot and do my homework, and then come back downstairs, and she'll watch some episodes of He-Man, something, anything and everything, Filmation, whatever, and she's into it.
I believe Ramen Toy there, he's doing his own Brave Star, or the Marshall rather, figure coming up there.
Yes. That's Ramen Toy, right?
Yes. He's called it the Marshall,
Yes.
so he doesn't get in trouble there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Again.
Next, she'll be asking you for that figure there. Oh, Dad, I want that Marshall
figure.
I cannot collect. I mean, you guys are into some serious cash. I can't collect. I can get a body here and there and go to the toy store and go and get a purse and cut it up, go to Hobby Lobby and get a bag of leather and make something, because $40 for like a G.I. Joe.
Indeed, yes.
It's a lot. And then there's my version of Motu, but then there's the Masterverse, there's the Filmation, there's the Origins. You basically have to come out of your pocket 3 different times before you even, it's a lot. And then there's Mondo. We don't even want to talk about Mondo.
No.
But I'll say this. I'm not going to say that my stuff is better than Mondo. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that my stuff doesn't break like Mondo. I'll say that to be safe. And then I'm willing, because I'm not a corporate entity, I can take more chances than most, because I can do stuff that they wouldn't do. And
it's also unique for the stuff you make from anything you can find here and there. Like in my Battle Cat, for example, I used lots of different pieces I found lying about there to make all the robotic parts there. There was some old G.I. Joe pieces gone in there, like a bit of a mask and the breathing tube there, and all different pieces of old VCRs and all sorts.
Again, me personally, I'm just stepping into the customization realm of figures. Again, I've done clothes I stopped collecting for about 20 years, got back into collecting. But when I originally started collecting 20 years ago, I was doing armaments, and I was doing like fox leather and stuff like that, just to make garb that they wear. So that's sort of easy to me, but I never ever tried to make a figure, the plastics, my own. I never attempted that because I didn't want to destroy the figure. And now I find myself dabbling in that. I find myself starting to dabble again into. I'm trying to make my first playset, but I'm trying to do dioramas more or less. My playset that I'm starting to do, which is actually made out of paper mache, is the Eternos Palace.
Oh, yes.
And that's starting to become a very, very tedious project because I'm using wireframing. I'm using the paper mache. I gotta let it dry. I haven't even began the painting on it. And
it's a long, tedious process indeed.
Yes. And then on top of that, it's 2 levels high. I'm trying to see if I can go maybe that extra mile and give it that second wall. How I want to do.
If you like to show up here, sir, this is just a bit of a paper mache and a polystyrene piece there, so you can gather up all your polystyrene that you get in your products there, and you cut it up into the little stones, or you can. This is just a straight flat piece, mind you. I just drew the stone shapes in, and then carved that out with a bit of a box cutter there, and I paper mache it over this with toilet paper of all things. It is very hard to work with, though. It tends to stick to the brush. You need to soak it in a little bit of glue and water there, and you get you're using the texture of the toilet paper there to get your stony like texture, and that's just all stuck on a bit of cardboard just to keep things straight, and then you can go over with your craft moss there that you get in your hobby stores and all things like this, like your formation type land formations that was just on a bit of cardboard there, and they just worked up with some polystyrene, and although I paper mached up that newspaper from the Eternals Times there, and yes, which went about that with the old newspaper, and then I painted that up with a few acrylic colors there, just to finish things over with, and I use these to display with my action figures there and so forth in my Origins collection. So you can have this is a Master Race figure, mind you, but just for demonstration purposes, you can plonk them there, your formations, your terrain formations there, and have them out and about. Or you can use materials like your Sculpey, your oven baked clay. You can make a little rocks and plant formations coming out of the ground. So these are just vines.
Wow.
I painted in like your formation type colors almost there, and had that in the oven for a little while, not too long, because it all eventually melts on you. You see, you had to have a bit of an eye on things, as it were, and then you just plonk those on your shelf next to your figures there to, create a bit of a world there and what have you.
And that's Sculpey, Eldor. That's skill.
Yes, sir. So you can buy that pretty much anywhere. Your local hobby stores or warehouse stores, or when you buy your paints, and that I believe, well, especially here, it's in the paint section. We can just wander down that aisle, and you come to the Sculpey product there, and this is just all white. This is just all white Sculpey, mind you. So it wasn't colored, but you can buy it in colors and do the separate colors and so forth if you don't want to paint things up, and but you can do a bit of dry brush around the stone formations there. So you paint it in black there first, helps to bring up all these sort of textures and details, and then when you dry brush over in your colors, it picks all that up, and you add a bit more a flair and dimension to your piece there and what have you. So usually, yes, I paint all my things up in black there first, bit of an underpaint, and then you can dry brush over in white, just to bring up areas where the light might touch your form, and then you can, if you can find it, you can buy a bit of a gloss gel medium, which if you mix with your paints, it makes the paint more translucent. You see, so when it dries, it picks up all that undercolor that you painted first, and you can get some quite nice effects there. Similar thing I did to my dwarf Legion Builder figure. I'll bring him back in. We saw photos of him before, but on the front piece here, that was black. I painted black in it, just a slight dry brush of silver, and then using this translucent blue paint, I painted that over top. When that dries, it brings out that mix of black and silver dry brushing there to get in quite a nice sweet texture when you're finished and so forth. Probably
I'm
can't
gonna
see
bring
it
you
all
up
that
on
well
full
because of the
screen.
Very
quality,
nice. Yeah.
So yes, different paint techniques there you can use to make things look nice. You can even use the silver dry brushing and black, and then that translucent blue to get that sort of metallic blue looking effect. And it tends to, and with the dry brushing texture, it tends to add that sort of element of weathering also.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, you all are so talented, and I can't, like, with what you did with the sculpting of the grass and stuff like that. I know me, my lazy tail is going to go to the hobby store. I'm going to find something already made. If I don't like the colorization, I'll paint it. But other than that, I know that I couldn't make uh, no grassy type terrain like that.
Well,
You
see,
will if
I
you.
also use
I don't know
the
if it's that I
Jurassic
don't have.
in my Jurassic Park display. I also use those toy trees that you buy with your toy soldiers there, the little plastic soldiers. And you can use those trees and hand them about your display there. But I see Bill is amassing some of his works there.
Yeah, pretty much this is a collection of figures that I have made from various different pieces. Uh, yeah,
Warlord.
yeah, we got the Warlord right here. Now, the I did
Oh
not
yes.
sculpt this head. This head was cast by Lee Customs.
Okay.
So you buy the
Yeah,
head.
I recognize Queen Marlene in there.
Yeah, that's Lee Customs Queen Marlena. Let me take myself off the screen here so you can see her better. Yeah, that's also Lee Customs. It was a kit. I mean, I don't mind. You know, I'm not the world's greatest, but I can paint and I can take up different things and put them together. Now back there in the back behind Warlord, you can see my piper and my violinist. That's figures that I made of Allie the Piper and Mia Asano. Uh, Behind them, you can see Baltard back there in the back. More Lee Customs fodder. Uh, Iguana, Batoon.
Oh
You got
yes.
the Warlord. You got Hercules and Conan, and then Red Beast Man back there in the back.
The
Savage He
original.
Man, and
Nice.
now the Savage He Man was the one that I'm still kind of working on. I haven't painted his spear yet, but bring him up to the front. I
Oh
probably
yes, I
need to.
see.
I need to work on his shins and his feet there so that they kind of match. But the shins came from uh,
Oh,
John Cena.
the Masterverse one, was it? Oh no,
No,
another figure.
no. The shins came from John Cena. The feet were
Ah,
cast by a friend of mine that's on Instagram called Grayskull Origins.
oh, jolly
He
good.
and of course he's got a loincloth on that's made from felt. And I've got the old style head there on him. I'm probably going to replace that with a Lee Customs head eventually, but
Oh
that
yes.
and of course I've got straight arms without any bands on them. That came from another WWE Superstars figure. So you know,
Nice.
Rey Mysterio, I might have got that from.
That's cool.
But I use various techniques. Now back there in the back, you can see my custom gray skull. I
Oh yeah.
sell. Of course, it's got the minaret on top of the castle there that a lot of people missed because it never did come out on the original castle. I made that from Sculpey clay, bake clay.
Oh
You can
yes, yes.
bake it
That
in the.
looks great.
And of course, I've got Snake Mountain over here that I'm going to work on.
Wow.
I've started on it. I've got real chains on it instead of the
Oh yes, yes, indeed. I believe the vintage chains are almost always broke on people.
That's
Yeah.
right. But I
Yeah.
don't mind sourcing from other sources to get my materials. It's putting them together. Well, what do they say? If you steal from one place, it's plagiarism, but if you steal from a whole bunch of different places, it's art.
Oh, what was it? One man's junk is another man's treasure, I suppose.
That's true. But for instance, Conan here. I can't afford to buy the original Conan figures breastplate that look like a lion, but I could steal Papa Shango's necklace and put on him. But that's kind of everybody was showing off their stuff, so I thought I'd show my stuff off too.
Nice.
Yes, a lot of good work in there.
That paint job on the castle. It took me a while to get into my castle, but I'm learning a lot. I might paint it again. I have a dollhouse that I made. I don't know. Figuratively speaking, did I show you that? My castle?
No, I don't think so. No, in fact, going
it's
through.
a 1/6 scale castle Grayskull, so it's about 4 foot tall because it has 3 levels, and then there's a top level. So that's the first playset that I worked on. I'm working on another one now.
I would have remembered.
Yeah, well, I'm working on another one. The palace, and I have the palace guard. I have about 8 palace guards that I'm working on. I'm working on King Randor, and I'm working on I'm working on Tila, and I'm working on the sorceress. So I'm constantly in that garage working, man. You know,
always good to have something to work on.
Right.
Yep.
Like, hopefully, I do this to inspire. Hopefully, people will see it and dig it. You know, but we're here. You know, the audience, you guys are here, so that's enough. If the whole world doesn't know and see what we're doing, we know what we're doing. We're our own little collective, and we
indeed.
Yeah, I like that.
Different. I like the fact that everyone comes from a different place, but we're all brought here by the same thing.
Yep.
So we have a fellow called Scullavator in our circles here, and he made his own Snake Mountain up, and he had that in an exhibition there a wee while back. He was showing that off, and he had a fellow come in, and he had a fellow come in, and he said, "Oh, would you like to make one for me?" So he's busy building another Snake Mountain at the moment. You can go to the Scullavator channel there and check
Kelly,
that out.
I'm keeping up with your progress. I know you were on 5. I've seen 5.5. I haven't seen 6 yet. I plan on watching it though after this.
So you've been catching up on him. Yes.
He's amazing. Like I got a lot. I get a lot from all of you. Every time y'all say something, I put it in my Rolodex about I learned about dry brush painting. I learned about paper mache. I use the stuff that you put tiles on with. That's what I use to cover, because I use pool noodles for my Snake Mountain, because I did a Snake Mountain too, and it's huge. My garage is going to be Eternia. That's what I plan on doing, making my half
a good old setup in there, I suppose.
Sounds like what Rolo had going on back before he had to move to the hospice. He had a whole garage that was Eternia, complete with Grayskull on one side and his version of Snake Mountain on the other, and a mural that he had painted in the background for the sky. It was beautiful. I wish you guys could have seen. Well, you can see it if you go back to his channel and watch some of his old live streams. You can see some of Rolo's.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, yes. I can do that.
And that's just it. We all, because everybody, there's fandom in all areas of But what does that mean? It just means that it takes us back to the part of our childhood where things were different, things were simple.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was no politics. There wasn't everything wasn't so extreme.
Yeah.
Everything was, and everybody, you know, this guy has two heads. One is blue and one is purple. So he obviously can't be a racist. There's blue people in Eternia. You know, bird people.
And green and yellow and all
spider
sorts.
people. So everybody either get along or they don't. But if they fight and they're men about it, they're gonna fight.
Indeed.
That's just the way that it is in Eternia. But I love that we are here tonight.
Well, see,
Of course.
I'll say this is what I really love about a Rulers of the Sun line. The Rulers of the Sun line brought all the ethnic groups together into the Origins and Motu family, and it's
I like that
where
too.
it needed to be.
I collected them, the new Sun, I collected those just because of that.
I just had
That
the Origins
group of,
Son of Mandalorian, but I want to get the Masterverse version of him too.
I actually spoke to the owner or to the lady who created.
Willa Eason.
Yes, I spoke to her and I showed her
a remarkable woman indeed.
My rendition, and she told me it was because there was an 85. Because I was a little guy in 85, and there wasn't really anybody for me to look towards for a representation. Now, what I don't agree with swapping certain figures by race or by sex, because to me that's pandering.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make the Incredible Hulk green or pink or chartreuse. He's green. It's always going to be green. And there's a She-Hulk and there's a Hulk. So I just love the fact that Eternia doesn't have the confusion. It's all handled by the laser gun or by the sword.
It's divided into good and evil, not races.
Or by the magic.
That's
there.
right.
There's not even classes in Eternia. Everybody, because He-Man was actually living in a cave at first. We're just going to skip the fact that he was a homeless person at first. He was in a cave. He was with a tribe.
Yes,
and then he went off on his own.
The Green Sorceress gave him all his powers there, the armor.
Yeah, so he didn't really even earn it, but neither did Prince Adam. Prince Adam didn't earn it either. He was just a prince. He was just lazy and walking around. But Filmation made it to where he'd be more accepted, and that's not, that's too brutal. We can't have him kill things on our show. And nobody.
And I suppose when they made Prince Adam clumsy, there was a way to hide that no one would think that he would be He-Man. He behaved, and it's like Clark Kent putting on his glasses there. And,
it's ridiculous.
And acting all clumsy, so people never suspect that he's Superman.
He just basically takes his clothes off, and nobody knows it's him.
Yeah.
Like you see in that one scene where he's with Lois Lane.
Not at glasses.
Glasses.
When he has Lois Lane in his apartment there, and he accidentally falls onto the fire and then tries to hide his hand, and he's burnt his hand when he hasn't really, because he's Superman, He's trying to hide away. I'll fix it up, and then she says, "Oh, you're not burnt there. How can that be?" She finds out.
But I mean, what I trip out on in this is there are some people that like certain toy lines that won't mess with your toy line, and it's like you get conflict. And they're grown men. Like, guys, we're grown men. We got mortgages. We got wives and kids. We're grown men. Why? Okay, so the teenage.
Well, I just have my toys. That's all I have.
That's all I have. Well, in the grand scheme of things, they just said it's a shapeshifter, Bill.
Is he changing his eyes? Is he a lizard man?
Not at
Oh
glass.
man,
Put the glasses on, you're a whole different person than when you take them off.
Oh.
yeah, but I love getting on here, chopping it up with guys that to me are normal. I mean, society may look at us like we're weirdos because I spend a lot of time in that damn garage. A lot of time.
Well, next time someone tells you, "Oh, you shouldn't be playing with toys. You're a grown man," and you tell them, "Oh, who do you think makes the toys? Who do you think designs them and comes up with them?" Yes, the older people do.
Well, they wouldn't let me have a job because I don't think that they would let me have a job if I came to work and was like, "This is going to be our newest plaything. We're going to play with this. Scare the hell out of these kids."
They should think you're creative there, rather clever.
Oh, I just think I was a bit of a psycho.
Yes, but see, the world has gone through a lot of sea changes over the years on Earth there, and a lot of things that were considered bad, like the geeks and the nerds, and now top of the bunch there nowadays, and people that would call you a geek and a nerd, they've become geeks and nerds themselves. So it's
right.
To quote Doctor Who, it's no fun in being a grown up if you can't be childish sometimes.
Indeed, yes, the fourth Doctor there, you might say.
And who, if you're serious all the time, take it from me, fellas. I've had 2 heart attacks. I had a very serious job. I did security at a major casino out here in Las Vegas. And I can safely say that this here really, really changed my life because there was I worried about a lot of the wrong things. And
it stresses you out there. Yeah.
Now I just worry about what kind of, and I learned about, you guys know about the styrofoam super glue trick? You mix styrofoam and super glue together and it makes a super strong bond.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, don't get it on you because it starts to smoke and then the fumes.
No.
But if you don't have on polyester pants because it'll burn through those.
See, normally how I glue my polystyrene together is I cover the joining pieces up with masking tape, and I'll use hot glue because hot glue is another one that tends to eat into the polystyrene, you see. So I use masking tape to sort of separate the surfaces, and I'll just hot glue. And of course, you got the masking tape, sticky as it is, holding onto the polystyrene, and then you can just say, paper mache over top of that, and it all holds it in solid eventually.
But just check that out on those information channels that we won't name on this. But just look it up. The super glue and the styrofoam. And it works wonders, man. I've been using it on a little bit of everything. I'm going to be, and I'm working. I really want to finish my Roboto. But see, what happens is I'll work on something, start it, and can't finish it because I've ordered a piece for it. And
yes, I'm in that boat too.
And having to wait for something from China is a lot. I used to get all my best head sculpts from Russia, and now I can't. The guy is gone. They cut his channel off on eBay. So we can't. I can't even get anything from Russia. The head sculpt.
Yes, I do. I got a Doctor Who head sculpt of a fellow off the eBay there. I did I threw together my 6th scale, 6th Doctor there, but no one had built his multicolored jacket. You see, so I bought a pair of black clothes that look similar and just threw that all on there. just for saying if he went with a more sort of a black and white uniform or outfit or whatever. But, yeah.
Sometimes you just have to sit on your projects.
Speaking of
I
sitting
don't
on
have
projects, I'm sitting on an Arak Lord of Thunder right now,
Yes.
waiting on someone to finish a head for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now we see nothing
What
but figuratively speaking.
Nice.
What you got to show us there, sir?
This will
Is you frozen up? Oh,
Looks like you're having a few internet gremlins there. I do.
oh, there we go. He's showing us there something, you know.
You
Who you got there?
Where'd you go, man?
Yes, baby.
He disappeared.
He's
Oh,
down
it's
here.
Faker.
I want to know if we can start
Whoa.
over there for like 2 more minutes.
Oh, hello there.
And see what I really love about this, that face.
Yeah. Shoot.
Oh, he's zoned out now.
Oh, he's gone
He
black.
buffered.
He's in the void. He's in the void there.
Well, we need him. He's the main one we
So
need.
yes,
He's our host.
That Faker head sculpt looked rather good. I thought on that new
Yep.
one coming out there.
Very nice, yeah.
Oh. So yeah. In today's news, so who we got left in here?
I am still
Here he
ready.
comes.
Is he still there, John? Sir?
Here he comes.
Where's everybody at in the country?
Here we are. Well, back.
There he is.
Yes.
Oh yes, Faker there.
But yeah, this is the thing that I absolutely love about this new Attorney of Faker is one, that face. The face is so much different than what I'm used to as far as a normal He-Man. And then even his weapons. The sword has more of a, even though it looks like the normal He-Man sword, but they brought this sword back, in particular, the way the vintage sword was. So they got that little
Yes. The wee handle
piece
there.
across the
Extra handle.
yeah.
So can you join
And I'm
both
loving-
sides?
Do what?
Can you
No.
can you put both sides together? Does it have the little nub in the other side of the sword?
Oh,
No,
not
it's
this
all
sort
one
of
piece.
thing. It's more of a. It's
You know
more
what
done
I'm
like
saying,
if someone
though.
mix matched different bits of metal together. It looks
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
techno type.
So like on the vintage sword, you had the purple half and you had the silver half.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Skeletor's
no,
out.
it's
Yeah.
all one piece.
The sword is one piece. Skeletor has
Yes,
half of
this
it,
one
he
is.
makes
Yeah.
half of it.
Yes.
You need both halves to open the castle.
Indeed, that's
That's
how it went.
that's
Yeah.
the key to the castle. And
But
that's
on this new
Correct.
Faker sword that John has here, it's all one piece, but it's made like a mixed match of different bits of metal. So it's an odd looking contraption there. But indeed, it's modelled. in
Then my
that,
next
vintage
project
look.
would, well,
Oh, the merman, classic looking merman. Is he freezing up
I
again?
couldn't do it.
just got
I
him
couldn't
in.
leave it
And
in my box. How can you do it? You got two of them? Do you have two?
oh
of
no,
these?
they're
'Cause
coming out.
Oh, okay. Because I can't leave mine in the box.
I have two apiece. If I open it, I have one coming out.
So the only Masterverse figure I still have boxed is the Scareglow one. All the others I just open up and review, you see. What figure did you have there, Duplex, sir? What's it you're working on there?
This is my work in progress. You can't tell anybody, it's a secret though.
Oh, okay.
This is I'm making so basically I'm making this as an homage to my favorite customizer. I'm sure you guys know Brain Candy.
No, I've not heard of that fellow.
Well, he's on IG and he is brilliant. And so I'm in the process of making a Brain Candy.
Oh.
The most powerful customizer in the universe. But don't tell him. So I'm waiting for my brain right now.
Right.
Someone's gonna send me a
I see
resin.
his color looks like the old the big candy lollipops there.
Yeah, that's exactly the chest is gonna be the candy lollipop. I'm working on that. And then this arm obviously is a like a candy cane type of deal. This is gonna be like taffy and whatever. But anyways, it's gonna be very colorful, and it's gonna have a big brain sticking out of his head, and yeah.
Yes, there's a game you can get out there called Brains or something. You got to collect up all the brains.
Okay. Yeah.
You can get the little 3D representations of the brains in one of those versions.
So I'm pretty excited.
Amazon or something.
I figure the way I'll do it is because it's gonna be so. Every limb is going to be a basic, a different color scheme. So my plan to tie it all together is to do like the belt and the shorts and the boots and the wristbands, more cohesive color, so it kind of brings it all together.
So is the Is that white color that you have on there? Is that like a color changing acrylic?
No, it's metallic. They're the Deco Art. They have Extreme Sheen is the name of their paint, and I really love them. It's it dries up the really nice hard finish. In fact, I started using it for my primer because, well, it says you can do that in the directions, and you don't really have to seal it with a sealer. So, but I this is the pearl. It's a metallic pearl.
Oh, very good there. Yes, sir. There's a fellow we know of called My Buddy's Customs, and he did himself a custom transforming He-Man from Revelation there. And then I think he started with the silver base coat and everything. Then he used his, or it might have been a color shifting silver, I think. But he painted that on, and he used different types of colors to pick up around the definition of the muscles and what have you.
Yeah.
To give me that sort of, I suppose, a color shifting look that he had in the series there.
Nice. I've used some color shifting paints here and there, but I like working in metallics a lot.
Oh, it's Friday.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll use the metallic as a primer, and I'll be like, "Damn, that looks good," so I'll just go with metallics. I have like the metallic trio, I call it. It's Horde Zombie He-Man with all metallics, Anti-Eternia He-Man in all metallics, and then a Faker.
Yes, I've got a on the go along with my custom Wandar here, using the 40th He-Man Masterverse body. I bought a spare one to do a Faker with there. Nice. So he's currently on the go, and I did pick up. Speaking of custom fakers, I picked up another one of the Dolph Lundgren He-Man that came out there with the funny-looking face. So I bought two of those, one to do a bit of an 87 custom faker with, and of course I bought two of the head sculpts off Ramen Toy there. he's done his own Master Reverse head sculpts. He's got 2 different ones for Master Reverse scale, and then he has one that you can put on your Origins body form and what have you. So I bought 2 in the Verse 2 heads, and I bought 1 in the Verse 1 just to, review purposes here. I'm still thinking about getting the Origins head there, but I think I'm not sure if he's still got them up for pre-order because he said they'll be closing soon, of course, to get all the numbers in and everything all sculpted and made and then shipped out, I believe, around was it June or July or something. But,
I just can't collect.
Absolutely.
Man, I can't collect, and I love Motu.
It is hard at sometimes, granted, yes. Even myself.
Yeah.
It's hard because only certain parts of the country get certain shipments. So you're gonna have to go third party anyway to get everybody.
I don't really understand.
A million clamp camps out here. Nobody buys.
I don't understand Mattel and how that whole thing operates. Why it's so.
The distribution has been really bad out of my parts too. We're still stuck around Wave 9, and we've hardly gotten anything. It's mostly it's all the people up in the North Island of Eternia here.
Because they hate collectors. That's what it is. They hate you. They hate you, and they want you to go insane.
It seems that way. But, go and pull our hair out and go off overseas and buy from Big Bang Toy Store all the time, or from some fellow in Australia that doesn't send you your stuff that you paid for.
I like going to Monkey Depot. Check them out. If you know them, check them out. Amazing prices. You can get 1/12 action figures. Like Figuratively Speaking was said, he wanted to, man, you could get a blank body and you're doing clothes and uniforms. And I just bought a sewing machine, and I'm scared to death because I just want to try to get better at things and do and expand to be my creativity and not be in a comfort zone all the time. Sure, I can do this, but can I do this? Can I try to make clothes, or what would he be dressed in, or what would she be dressed in, and how am I going to make it happen? Because I don't know. I never, truthfully, you asked me the question, I don't know. I don't know how I do what I do. I just
see. Most of the collecting I can do is helped by payment plans. We have one here called Afterpay, which lets you pay things little sums every fortnight there. So I found that method easier to keep on with collecting, but otherwise, no, it's very difficult there indeed.
So Bill has the actual sled that Zodak has.
Yes, he's sitting high and mighty there.
Uh-oh. Everybody's going to get stuff. Hold on, I'll be back.
It's my next project.
He's
I never saw. This is one of those 12-inch giants, man.
Yes.
I tell you, they're impressive. Really impressive. I've never.
Have you seen the big ones that they made for that show? I believe the Mattel Experience show they're developing over there. They made a big Skeletor He-Man. And a big archway for King Castle Grayskull there.
I found the Skeletor harness and belt on eBay, and so I'm gonna make a Skele Beast. Is what I'm gonna make.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the way.
When this came in the packaging, I really was really impressed, man.
There it is.
I was impressed with those 12-inch figures. My favorite customizer there, Brain Candy, he does the 3D printing, and he makes a lot of 15-inch figures. They're incredible.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. Thanks again for having me, man. I really appreciate this. I'm honored to be here with you guys.
Be
See,
yeah,
I picked up another coloring method.
that
I started doing a custom blind doll there based on the Wednesday Addams from the Netflix show. And I
Ah,
was on IG there the other day, and I was like, scrolling down, looking at everybody's works or figures they've gotten and what have you. And yes, sometimes you get suggestions. And then this one lady over in Russia, she made a blind, a custom blind doll for Wednesday Adams. And oh, yes, I rather like that show. I might give that a go there because it has applications where I might be able to do some Master of the Universe blind dolls there. And they've got a little gimmick to the head. You see, you pull a little cord down the back, and it closes the eyes. And when the eyes flip up, the pupils look in a different direction there because the eyeballs themselves have multiple pupils all differently arranged on them. So there's a wee mechanism that switches the eyes up each time you close them with that pull string there. But, yes, well there he is, Zodak, the cosmic enforcer.
yeah.
Custom 3D printed sky Zodiac was made by a customizer in Argentina who sells on eBay. That's where I spend a great deal of my money is buying stuff like that. I'll admit it.
Yes. It's good there.
But this guy does amazing work, and he hand paints it, so it's already painted when you get it. You don't. Not unlike most guys who are doing the 3D printing, they'll give you the raw product, and it's up to you to fix it up. But he puts it together for you, paints it, and sends it. Only problem is shipping. That costs about as much as the product itself. So the shipping's gotten really ridiculous here lately.
yeah.
But that sled
Yes.
is
Yes,
amazing.
I know what you mean there, sir. You're almost paying the same as you paid for what your item was.
Pretty much. That sled cost
Crazy.
$30, and it costs about $30 to get it here. So I spent about $60 getting that getting that.
You see, I pre-ordered the Snake Mountain there, and that's
Yeah.
costing what 170 something Eternian, and the postage is about the same.
I can believe that. Yeah, I've got the new Snake Mountain pre-order from Amazon. I hope I get it, but we'll
yes.
see.
Oh, so you got in there one of the first ones when the Amazon.
Yeah, when Amazon slipped up, I slipped in. Hopefully that's gonna still hold water. We'll see. But if it doesn't, I still have a Snake Mountain, so I'm happy. I'm trying to get everything I always wished I had when I was a kid. A lot of times when I'm customizing, who didn't wish that they had the cosmic throne for Zodak to fly around in?
Right.
I mean, he always needed that. They never made it.
They never made
Yes,
it.
I never had Castle Grayskull when I was a wee lad, but I managed to get a vintage one that I'm still working on restoring at the moment. I'm still going to buy a lot more of the pieces there to complete it. So guess I'll have to update my video on that one soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got Castle Grayskull there long before I got my hands on an Origins Grayskull. But the thing about Mark Taylor, when he designed that, he sent his designs to the people, the sculptors there at Mattel, and they kept making it wrong. He's like, it's too symmetrical. I want it to be very asymmetrical. I want it to be an organic castle. And he finally had to sculpt it himself, and that's one of the reasons.
Yes, I remember.
One of the reasons why I've stuck with the vintage Grayskull. It has the asymmetrical look that the Origins doesn't have. Now, don't get me wrong. I like my Origins castle. I have it, put away, but my go-to castle for my figures to play in when they go on their adventures here on Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures is always going to be that custom castle back to the back. And Moldman was talking about different methods of painting those things up. I'll tell you exactly how I did that. I took the two halves of the castle outside, and I spray painted them flat black. And when that dried, a couple of days later, I brought it in the house, and I became a series of dry brushes of different colors across. across that black. I mean, I never actually came down with one coat of green or anything like that. It was just several different coats of different layers of greens and yellows. And of course, the base at the bottom I painted with white and gray to because that's rock down there at the bottom.
Of course.
The rock that the castle was actually built on, and the castle itself has got that greenish tint to it that it acquired over the millennia, I guess, that it stood there.
all the moss there. All the moss man.
But yeah, and then after I got the castle done, I said, well, I need to do the weapons rack. So I did the weapons rack, then I did the trainer and everything inside the castle. If you want me to, I'll clear the table off and open the castle up and let you see the interior.
Yes.
I haven't painted everything in
I see we had Skelevator. He's popped in there. Hello, sir.
Please
Yes,
and thank you.
We mentioned you beforehand about your Snake Mountain you're building.
Hey, Steve.
Let crack her open, man. Let's see.
All right, let me take the cam off and bring myself up, and I'll shut the cam down, and I'll begin opening that up. I'll have it open in just a minute.
See, another process of coloring you can do is with pastels there. Yes, when I did some research on the blind doll side of things, I noticed one lady, she was creating shavings of pastels. You know, your oil pastels there. She scrapes it onto a little tray, and then she mashes it all up into a fine powder. And using the your makeup brushes, she applicated the color onto the doll there on the lips and what have you. Then you just spray with a little bit of a clear coat to seal it all in there. So I did a little bit of gloss enamel from the Humbrol paint brand there. Usually in the brand that you paint all your models, kit sets up there, what have you. So I just dabbed on, because I didn't want to disturb I let the pastels dry for a couple of days, mind you. And yes, and I just dabbed on the gloss coat over the lips there to seal all that in. But here's another way of applying colouring to your customs, I suppose. Oh,
This is my Zodak. This would be my custom Zodak.
Oh, yes.
That is
Just has a
amazing.
cool chair, but
Hi, everybody.
what's going
hello.
on, man?
This is
How you doing?
my puppy Remo. Good.
Did you see what I did?
Daddy.
Look what I did.
This is Momo.
Hey. Aww.
Oh, who you got there?
Momo.
A dodo, is it?
Buddy.
Oh, hello there.
This is puppy.
It's Reggie. Hi, buddy.
Who is it?
This is my King
Good boy.
Hiss.
All right.
Oh, King Hiss.
Oh my goodness.
Complete with the James Earl Jones.
Let me bring.
He's turning green, and
Wow.
he's got snakes coming out of his forearm. I'm trying to get it, fellas. I still have a lot of coloring to do for the body, but he's on a Shaquille O'Neal body.
Oh yes.
That's his armor.
Oh, I like the skirts there, sir.
Right.
Yes.
I try, man. I'm really trying.
Oh no, yes, it's coming looking good there. Indeed.
That looks amazing.
And this is on a Shaquille O'Neal body with a James Earl Jones head when he was
yes.
and then this is his back. He's got a snake coming from his back so that you can't just sneak up on him.
Nice.
Oh.
From a McFarlane figure. I forget the McFarlane figure. Guys in the chat, I know you guys know which McFarlane figure this is.
Or would that be from the what's his name?
Daddy, can you
Conan, the villain from the Conan movies, is it?
He
I
was,
know,
yeah,
I know James Earl Jones was in that one of those films there.
yes, he was Thulsa Doom in Conan.
That's
So
it.
I decided, I had a James Earl Jones figure, and who would be best to be a 7 foot tall, menacing, shape shifting snake man.
Oh, yes, I
That
do
would
like
be
how you got the snakes coming out of his arms there. Very
Yes.
clever.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. So
And then here is Stinkor,
Oh, who's that?
my Stinkor.
oh wow. And see, I love your touches with that because you make it more futuristic than just the cartoonish.
Oh, yes, you got the tanks on the back there. Oh.
He's got tanks all over the place. He's got tanks on his back. He's got tanks on
Ooh.
his side here.
That is
And his
amazing.
boots.
Yes,
His boots are those
he's well
red
packed
boots.
to stink the place out there.
Yeah, he's here to stink up the place. He's
Ooh.
got gas mask. This is one of those Russian head sculpts I was talking about. Man, I
see.
miss that guy. Amazing sculptor.
It truly is.
Oh, yes. Yes, I had a spare Stinkor armor there because, of course, I used some of the Stinkor parts in that custom Grizzle that I showed you earlier. So yes, I got the Origins King Hiss the other day. He had the spare snake head and snake arms there. So I thought because I rather like to pose my King Hiss in his his King Hiss form in my Origins collection. So I use those snaky arms and the snaky head on a 2000X Origins body there, and then I just pop the chest arm off that Master Bear Stinkor, and I called him King Hiss's brother, Prince Poison. He has the poison tanks, you see, on his back, and shoots that out of the wee nozzle front of the armor there, in my imagination, as it were.
Wow.
Oh, who's this fellow?
My Fakor.
Oh, I do like the armor on the shoulder there.
Absolutely.
I had to keep the armor consistent. It's the Barbarian Berserker armor that they have. I went the cheaper route because this is leather and this is die cast. Now the He-Man and all of the He-Man that I use are die cast. But except him. Because I paint that orange, I went a little bit cheaper. But this is the actual Marcus Wright Terminated.
Wow.
Because I wanted to use the damage, the battle damage, the meat. I wanted all that to show.
Oh, I see. Yes. Huh. Oh, looking good there.
And lastly,
That's amazing.
I did Spikor.
Oh.
Lesser known out of the lore, but
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
His skull spins around there. Yes. Oh. I see him even got his little pattern on his chest there.
That is
amazing.
That's from that same purse.
Yes,
I repurposed that purse a lot in the like I did the purse was a lot. And the spikes protruding out of his back.
Oh yes.
Wow.
That head is actually a LeBron James head.
Oh my gosh, that's so wonderful.
But it had so much intensity in it that I had to use it, and I had to For
Mhm.
battle ready heads. I like to use heads with expression.
Mhm.
Both of the well, one on Too Bad. One of the heads is uh, Heath Ledger, Joker, and the other head is um, Christopher Lee
Oh,
as Dracula. So I wanted to
oh yes,
use
Dracula. Yes.
yeah I definitely use that. Let's see what's going on in
So
the castle.
Yes, he's already there, all set up.
But I
Oh,
love what I do,
I
man.
scared my
I try to
kids the
top
other day.
myself. Each time I do it, I try to top myself. So it's a
well, yes,
privilege.
when I was younger, you see, my
My
first
kids the
use of the sewing machine was in my sewing class there, and I had one of my modules there in school. So that was my first introduction to using the sewing machine. You see, and then my mother a few years ago gave me her mother's old sewing machine, an old Husqvarna there, still going strong there. Yes, they don't make them like they used to. So yes, I had that out last night doing the cape for that Batman that I showed you before. That's just a prototype cape at the moment, just seeing how everything works out and what have you. Hmm. And here we have it, old
It
Castle
looks
Grayskull.
complete. It looks complete.
I believe that is.
Oh, yes, it's got the spinners there. I've got to get the spinners for mine. I've got to get the
Um,
ladder. What else do I need? I'm missing a couple of the weapons.
let's bring that up.
Oh yes, I remember him talking about the wee shields that he has on the wall there.
Yeah,
Yes, it
we
looks
have
good.
the
Uh,
entranceway shields that you can see in the original book,
Hmm.
He-Man and the Power Sword. When Skeletor first enters the castle, they're up there on the wall now. Uh, if you remember, there was a cardboard cutout weapons rack. I have made an actual 3D
Yes. Yes.
version of that right here.
Oh,
As you can see, it's got the axe and the
oh,
mace and the
wow.
shield here, and the laser
yes,
rifle and the
down
two
there.
pistols on it. A guy from Germany called Mating Kaiserstuhl also made a weapons rack, and I went ahead and bought that. I kind of like that. You can display all of He-Man's weapons on it. It's got a
Oh,
couple of
yes.
skulls in it. And then here's the weapons
That's
rack,
sick.
and over here with all the painted weapons on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
It looks good indeed.
And then
I notice you're also using some of the 3D computer parts from the Origins there.
I am. I like the way that looked. Looked very much like what Mark Taylor's original design was supposed to
Hmm.
be for that up there at the top. So I kind of repurposed that. And then if you notice
Oh,
on
yes.
the Tower of Vigilance and the Tower of Protection there, I have custom flooring up there that was made by another customizer called Talos Dream Shop,
Oh,
and
yes.
this platform here is extended so a figure can actually stand there
Ah, yes.
in
Right.
that.
Because they couldn't.
Uh,
Like you couldn't
Right,
no, you're standing in midair there.
behind the cannon. It just couldn't
Yeah.
happen.
and what's really interesting about this platform is it also has a trap door that's removable
Oh,
in
yes.
it.
Oh,
You can see that.
so you can have a ladder going up to it and you can get
Oh,
up to it that way. Oh,
And
that's very clever.
nice.
then of course, I have the spacesuit because you got to have the spacesuit.
Yes, indeed.
And
They
not
didn't
just
give
the
us
cut.
that with the Origin set. They already gave it to us in the Mysteries of Grayskull, which is a bit on the nose, but yes,
And
these
then
Yeah.
things happen.
I repurposed my spacesuit from Mysteries of Grayskull.
Oh, you got that set there, sir. Oh yes.
I do, and
Oh,
of course the original castle didn't come with the evil flag. It only came with just the good flag.
yes.
But these flags are actually made from ribbons.
Ah, yes, yes.
So,
Oh, nice.
and this is I took the design and I made an iron on and ironed it on here.
Oh, I see. Yes. Transfer there.
That's
And
Pretty
nice.
clever.
lots of little hooks back here in the
Very
back to get onto. And I have a treasure chest here beside the throne. And if
I
you
see.
remember in that original comic, there was a little computer console beside the
Yes, I noticed you had that
throne.
there.
Oh,
I have it
wow.
back there.
Oh, very good.
And it's pretty much complete as far as I'm going to go. I've often thought about painting the interior, but I think the interior looks just fine the way it is. And I have two Spirit of Grayskulls that I can use in it. I have this one, and I also have
You'll also have the one from the mystery set, I believe.
that one. And I do have the one from the Mysteries, but I think the Mysteries of Grayskull Spirit doesn't look like the original design enough.
Oh, I see. Yes, those do look better, I think.
The one on the right is is it the one on the right, the original design?
Both of these designs were seen in the comic. This design was seen as T-Law was and He-Man were riding away on Battle Cat. You can see this design floating above the castle. This design here, I think, was shown in the Point Dread storybook that came with the Point Dread set in the final scene after He-Man had taken the castle from him. That's where you saw this spirit.
Oh, yes, he pops up there.
And of course, if you look up here, the original ladder design to going up to the Vigilance Tower is there. I need to paint that. I haven't done that yet. That's the only thing I haven't done. I'll bring it down here where you can see it better. But I have a custom design for the flag. I used a small dowel for the flagpole, which I painted brass. These were some beads that I bought at Walmart. You take these two beads and put together and put a little bead on top of that. I made the base from Sculpey and baked that in the oven. And then took my flag and made it out of a piece of cardboard there or a cardstock paper.
Yes.
Actually using little metal rings to hold it onto the flagpole there.
Oh, yes, very clever.
And I'll bring the cannon down. See the silver paint job that I did on the cannon here. And I also repainted the base a little bit and highlighting on that.
That cannon is badass, man. You did it with gunmetal?
It was I painted the cannon flat black, and then various shades of silver and stuff like that across the top of it. Dry brushing to get the coloring that I wanted, so that it gets this kind of a gunmetal look to it.
Yeah. And another thing you can do too, if you like, to get the hot metal effect, I see some do it on their the aircraft models that they make. They use a little bit of a blue sometimes, or I think a goldy color to give that sort of around the gun barrel tips there to give a bit of a hot metal.
You can also take various shades like a little bit of chrome to just across the tops of some of the highlights.
The details.
You know, not a lot, but just enough to bring that out. A little is better than a lot when it comes to doing paint jobs like this.
Oh, indeed. Yes.
And looks like the weapons over here. I used a little bit of rust color on some of them, so it looks like they're old and rusty.
Oh, yes. Oh, lots of ideas there.
That looks so amazing.
See, with my Origins cast grayscale I have displayed there, I'm going to be adding a new floor just above where the elevator goes. That's where I'm going to put the sorcerer's bed chambers up there. So I'm working on getting a new floor made to go there, and that'll plug in where those little plug holes are. I believe where you close the setup on the Origins cast grayscale, and on the inside. I'm going to make a series of paper patterns, so just pressing the paper on there, working out all the different areas where I don't want to be covered up, and those patterns I'll then take and you recall the Masterverse backing cards that you get have that stone pattern in them. So using some of those, maybe some of the more deluxe, the larger box of the Masterverse, we of course get the larger backing slip card there. I'll put the patterns to those and create a sort of a cardboard of the stone effect, and plonk those onto the inside of the walls there of my set, and then just above the pawn part of Castle Grayskull, or the main head cap on the inside, I'm going to make another floor there to be like the what you got with the Super 7 Castle Grayskull, where it held the power orb there. So I have another floor going in that section, and then I make the little the cupboard that it sits inside of, and so forth.
You know, I kind of jokingly told someone one time. I said, "Our projects are never finished; they're kind of abandoned." You know,
Yes.
I've been working on that castle now for about 2 years, and I still haven't finished it, but I haven't abandoned it quite yet.
Yes, the same thing with my my custom grayscale playset that I was working on. I started there probably a year and a half ago, and it's still mostly in its skeletal structure and what have you. But
What do we
I've
have
got
there,
the drawing.
figuratively speaking? What kind of a little doll is that?
Ooh, what's that one there?
So this is actually my fan. However, this is the original revelation. I've been working on Eternia because the bigger buck, and actually scared girls started to part their LOL dolls and borrowing their heads
Okay, it's
because they
LOL
fit
doll.
right on the ball.
Wow. Well, one
Right.
of the most hilarious
So
things that
I'm
I
sitting
ever
there and I'm
saw-
like,
Go ahead. I'm sorry, I talked over you. He's having a little
Frozen
trouble.
up there. He's got the max there, the max headroom.
Yeah, he's having a little trouble with his internet there. I had to upgrade my internet package to stop that stuff there, figuratively speaking.
Oh, yes. Oh.
I just got a new modem today.
Yeah, I need to get a new modem. I can get even more speed if I get a new modem. But what I was going to say was one of the most hilarious things that I ever saw customization is the stuff that's going on over there at Mr. Home Arcade. Recently, he did a Bob Ross custom He-Man figure.
I saw that.
Apparently, the Bob Ross head will pop off and pop onto a book for the Origins figures.
I'll have to get onto that to make a custom Elder Bob there for Elder Bob. Oh yes, I remember that. Mr. Home Arcade is very clever, very good with his.
He is, and his
Hustler.
videos are hilarious, but his customizations that he's been doing over there are what interests me the most.
Yes, he's got Hustler there and a few other fellows. Batman, he did Batman 1 in Origins. And,
he's done the whole Justice League. I think he's got Flash. He's got Superman and Batman. And he's done the bad guys. He's got Lex Luthor and Joker. It's just amazing what he's doing over there. And then of course
he's very entertaining as well.
Are entertaining. he has this natural ability of blocking, which is the ability to stage things on the stage in proper place, so that the story can be
Didn't
told.
he work on, was it the Robot Chicken uh, team there
I
or
don't know
something?
if he worked on Robot Chicken or not, but it looked like he has a little professional ability there. But
Indeed.
I've had him on my show before. He won't tell you a whole lot about what he actually does. Uh, he also operates as CT Jason here on YouTube, and he has a full home arcade there in his house. That's where his name, Mr. Home Arcade, comes from. But
Oh, yes, yes.
he never shows his face. If you ever see him out and about, you'll never see his face. If you do, it'll have a hockey mask on it. But he's a cool guy. I really like him.
Yes, he started by doing reenactments of the toy commercials there.
Yeah,
Very
and
entertaining.
those actually tell a overall story. If you watch them in order, there's a story being told there.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
each episode that he does, whether it's a parody commercial or whether it's something standalone, it's telling an overall story. So every time I tune in, it's like a new part of the story. Hey there, what's going on there, Elevator? Take it easy, man. And yeah, that little extra trap door
Thank
up
you,
there.
Skelly.
We'll see you again, sir. Good journey.
Good journey. But yeah,
Good
Skelevator
journey.
said that extra little trap door is great, and I think it is. It's a great little idea to have that up there, and the extended platform is good too, because originally the figure really couldn't stand up there and man the gun. I mean,
No,
you could.
you're mid in there like a ghost.
But yeah, so figuratively speaking, you're going to have to either upgrade your internet package, because, like I did, I went ahead and bit the bullet on that one. It costed me a little bit extra a month in order to get a little over uh, 3 megabits per second upload speed, so that I could get rid of this freezing problem that I was have the same problem like he was having.
The things we do, huh?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's why we have to rely upon our viewers for help. If you haven't got a Patreon yet, you need to get one so that you can get a few people to give you a hand with that. Most people are more than willing to give you $5 a month. I mean, what's that? A cup of coffee?
So something, yes. Yeah. Although if you're in Eternia, you're probably spending $10 on coffee.
Yes.
The prices are going up. The eggs are going up.
My word, I don't know how much things cost over there in Eternia, but your little corner of Eternia is an island, so it's a little more
Yes.
isolated, I
And
think.
they've had three more, was it three or two more instances of flooding up the North Island now, and well, people are at their wits' ends, I suppose, because it's a lot of that first flooding damaged all their crops. You see, like the kumara and potatoes and what have you, and carrots and all this sort of thing. And then we had a chicken laying barn go up in smoke. So there's all the eggs gone for a while, and
Oh my goodness!
No doubt a few well cooked chickens, but yes,
I have a
it's
very
taking time to
good
recoup all
friend
that.
of mine that lives in Upper Hutt.
Oh yes.
I haven't heard from him in a long time, but I hope he's doing well.
Yes, I've seen pictures of people with houses all filled with silt there, mud, all gone through all that. Because see, with all the crops there, they have to refix the ground then and sow the seed and wait for all that to sprout up. The eggs here almost getting up to $10 for a dozen.
My goodness,
I was
that's
in there. I
very.
was in there yesterday in the market. A few people were glancing over the egg section, and they all walked off. And of course, I did too. But I treated myself to a half dozen there last week, and that was $5.
Wow.
Because normally a full dozen you'd be paying what $3 or $4 now, but you know the petrol's gone up because of the wars happening there, and all the fuel and things, and they're putting that charge onto the customers. And
Yeah. And it's not going to get any better anytime soon, folks.
yeah. A wing and a prayer.
But we can always go away from all of that with our toys for just a little while.
Indeed. See,
I mean, that's
with
the
my
only way.
with my first castle Grayskull that I started making there, I added just above the drawbridge another wee hatch that drops down, and it drops a little net that I borrowed up one of my Jurassic Park figures. It came with the wee net so you could put over the dinosaurs, you see. So I made that like an electro net that falls down over the bad guys when they try to get into the castle there. And for the trapdoor in the main throne room, I have the trapdoor come down and it connects to another wee slope, sort of like that, so the figures can slide down and on the tower on the left side tower there. The slide will go all the way down into a dungeon.
Wow.
Just under that tower. So I've cut a wee square hole out in the base of that tower. So because I'll be building the under dungeons there, so that will lead right into the under dungeon portion of that, which I had to build separately. You see, but I made it so you can, for the trapdoor, there's a wee spring mechanism in there that has a wee notch that comes in and out. So when you push the sword in, it retracts that wee notch that locks the drawbridge in place. So just like the Super 7 or the vintage Castle Grayskull.
And isn't it amazing how you plan all of this stuff out? Logistically, I don't know how I'm going to do a lot of the stuff that I'm going to do, but I know that I want to have like a tablet in the palace so that they can have an actual monitor to look at when
Yes.
when
One
they're
thing comes to mind is, you might not have known about it, but the Teletran 1, the third-party one you can get for your Transformers figures, usually for your the newer ones or your masterpiece scale figures. There's some third-party company made a big, huge Teletran 1 computer there, complete with the wee little scanning fellow that goes around scanning all the Transformers there to get in their the vehicle forms in the G1 cartoon. And on the back of that, you can slide a tablet in behind there, and you can have your wee computer graphic set up to show on your play on your tablet. Then when you turn it around, there you've got your computer screen all working and so forth. It did come with LED lights too to light some of the other areas up. I got that particular piece myself in my Transformers collection. But yes, very good. Oh,
the dungeon.
The dungeon there. Who was hiding in there? Oh, Frogmonger there.
Very nice.
Yes.
That's another piece done by Talos Dream Shop, and
Oh, I see.
it's just the right size to go in the Origins Grayskull in the slot where the sticker is. And I thought that looked a whole lot better than the one that came with the Mysteries of Grayskull set, which is far too large, I think. So one of the really neat things is it comes with this little key.
Oh, the key
Wow.
there. Oh, yes.
Key fits
Yes,
right
we saw
in.
that used on the back of Frogmonger's art there.
It's right in the little slot there,
Oh, yes.
so you can open the door with the little key. Kind of neat.
Oh, they're very
That-
nifty. Yes.
And it's always those little details. Bill, I did not know you had a rating in the back of you.
Say that again, sir.
I said I did not know you have a Ray Dean in the back.
Oh, yes, I do. And I also have Mazinger and Dragoon.
Oh my goodness.
See them
That
back
was
there.
my best. Ray Dean was the best Christmas
Well, there's
gift
one
I
thing we've
ever
learned
got.
tonight. Your eyesight's better than mine.
And you can't see him because he's over here, but I also
Just
have the Unify version of Guy King, which
Ooh.
that costed a pretty good penny when it came out, and it costs even more now. And on one of Grindhead Jim's live streams when we were doing a charity for Rolo, if someone paid a certain amount of money, I would go and climb up and get that down and do it live on camera, and I did. If you ever get a chance to see that, it's hilarious because I could have crashed and burned because I had to get on top of the toy table to do it, and that's rickety.
Oh dear, very risky.
Very risky indeed.
Yes, I had an older fellow come by yesterday for a visit, and he'd fallen. He'd gone to sit on his outside chair that was on a bit of a chain, a swinging chair or something. He sat on that, and it broke, and he ended up getting a fracture somewhere.
Oh my!
On his back.
Those were that's what toys
So,
were.
so yes, he's on the old painkillers there at the moment to manage things, but fracture. Yes, I said you better get onto that with the old doctor there. Yes, our bones are not as steel as they used to be in our youth. Well,
You ain't never
sometimes,
lied about
A
that.
little brittle as we get older, where our bones are not as pliable.
Yeah, my healing factor is not what it used to be.
No,
Although
absolutely.
I understand
mine
some of your scientists there on Earth, they made an orbital, I suppose a hospital there, and they took people up there into space, and they found that they healed a lot more quicker than what they did on Earth. Apparently something to do with the difference of gravity or something. But, very interesting.
Very interesting indeed.
Yes, sir. You know, we all need trips up to space soon to get ourselves fixed. What have you?
So,
How are you doing there, sir? What have you got for us?
So I had a question. Does anybody actually does anybody have anything on the table like what I've been working on? So I've been staging it. I'm doing a diorama, but it's going to be a part of a playset world. So I'm doing a full table of Castle Grayskull, Snake Mountain when it comes out. I will have the DC Primal Bat Cave out, a whole little world where everything comes together. Eventually, when I'm able to get the Eternia playset, which I know at this point is going to cost me some cash.
Well, there is a Lego one coming up, mind you. The Inperations they landed the other night. Although they're doing election in three different sets. They brought out the main tower so far, and then eventually they'll bring out the other two, I believe.
That's a lot. Eternia is a lot. I'm not
Right.
gonna lie.
Yes, no, why? I couldn't get it.
Bill, you are muted, sir.
They're doing the sign language there.
Sorry about that. That Eternia
There we
plate
go.
set actually comes with 2 ramps. So that you there's a delay in that. You just have to believe that you click it's going to work. There's 2 ramps that come with the Eternia playset that Mattel Creations has made, just like the original one. One is going to Castle Grayskull, and the other ramp goes to Snake Mountain, so you can connect that into one huge playset. If you don't do it, somebody that gets it needs to do this and film it, because I want to see that entire playset in its entirety put up and running with both Castle Grayskull and the Snake Mountain on it. Because Now, how large that's going to be and how big of an area it's going to take to manage all of that is just mind-boggling to me. I never
It's going to be
even
monstrous.
on the Eternia playset Kickstarter or whatever they called that, but well, I knew I was never going to have room for that here, and of course, I don't think my wife.
Well, I didn't have the wallet room for it either.
Wallet room and space. My space is at a premium here right now. I'm surrounded by boxes. You can't tell on the camera, but you can see one back there and one right behind me. There's just boxes everywhere in here, and they're filled with toys. To the point, I've got so much I don't even know what I have anymore. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that or not.
Oh, yes, a few times too.
Yeah, you start going through things. You're going, oh, I forgot I even had that. Cool.
Yes, I had that on BBTS once. I was going through my pre-orders there, and I was like, huh? The Veiled
Absolutely.
Tactics Orc from Mythic Legions. When did I order that? I didn't remember ordering it. But no, when that came out, I didn't have the money for it anyway, so I had to cancel him, sadly.
See, Thanos Copter has 4 projects in the works. Grayskull Bridge and Anti-Eternia Sorceress, Man-at-Arms, and Tila. And
Yes, I was going to say,
Thanos Copter has an Instagram, and if you go over to his Instagram, you can see some of his stuff that he's been doing, and it's amazing.
Yes, I was going to say, in the prototype drawing that we saw in the round stages of the Eternia crowdfunding, they had these little bridge parts. It looked like they were connecting Castle Grayskull up to and Snake Mountain to the Eternia.
Well, Eldor, the original playset had those ramps as well, and that was one of the things we were wondering about where it was if the new set would have those, and apparently it does. So there's good with that. You're welcome.
So they put that in there. Then.
Happy to help out a fellow creator get the word out about him.
Yeah, I have a Snake Mountain that I'm working on, and I've worked on a Castle Grayskull, and I'm working on a castle, an Eternian castle. I haven't worked on the front yet. Can be turned though. I can sculpt it, make it look like Eternia on the outside. The inside, Randor is there. He has a throne.
Yes.
And then there's a what I started on was the defense tower. So there's an old school World War II Gatling gun that I painted. I paint all of the Eternian lasers and weaponry golden / reddish / rust. That's the colors of all their weapons and guns and armor. So the red is obviously blood. They've been in battle for a long time. There's bullet holes. I did a Hello Kitty, the remote control Hello Kitty Jeep that they have, and made that into a war wagon. So everything is on a really big scale. I don't even know how I would do it. Put all 3 together because it would.
You've obviously got the room there, though.
I don't know. Like I have to have somewhere to take it, and I'm in the garage, but I have a whole car on the other side. If I didn't have, I have a Mercedes on the other side, and it's the W140s, the big body one. So it takes up a lot of space. I have a gangster car in my garage, so it takes up a lot of damn space. If that wasn't in there, I could probably store it all, but I don't know, guys. I love what I do.
There's a fine line.
Yes. As they say, we make it fit somehow.
Make it fit.
There's a fine line between collecting and hoarding. Sometimes I feel like I've fallen over the line into the hoarding stage at this point.
Hoarding is
the evil hoard.
Hoarding is you don't have boxes. hoarding is you just bring shit to the house, and it doesn't have nothing to do with anything, but you think it does in your head,
Right.
and you use this piece or use this part. I find myself grabbing stuff and being like, "Oh, I can use this for this. I need this little piece, or I need this little bar."
Well, Helicopter, sir. Good journey.
And I'm going to have to head out too because it's 10:30 here and it's my bedtime. I'm
Thank
an
you,
old man. I
Thanos.
get early.
See you.
Indeed.
Bill, it was
Yes,
a pleasure.
I started working on my own attorney place
Yep,
up there.
we're-
Started
we're in-
Central Tower and the tiger and the lion head there so far. But, yes. But that's
Yeah,
going to
I
be for
mean,
the wee smaller loyal subjects Master Universe figures scaled to them. You see.
Yeah,
Well,
figuratively
guys, I'm
speaking,
going to have to head out. I hate to talk over guys, but I've
Well,
got
see
to head out.
what I find interesting with those.
All right, we'll see you then, Bill. Sir.
Good
to have you.
journey, everybody, and we'll try to catch you next time there, figuratively speaking.
Bill,
Good journey, Bill.
thank you.
absolutely.
We'll see you guys.
Thank you. You're welcome anytime, sir.
Indeed. Oh, it's been a good wee talk around there.
And then there were three. Yeah, what I actually find interesting with these,
the loyal subjects are Mogwais.
what I find interesting, but the loyal subjects, the interesting thing with these is that these are not my first ones. But these heads actually, when you pop them off, of course, you'll have to heat them up to pop them off. They will fit on a Masterverse or an Origins figure perfectly.
Oh. Oh, yes.
This stripe will be the next victim of being a mer people.
Oh, custom there.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So, absolutely. But I want to say, absolute. Wow, I'm brain fart. I want to say
Good night there, Sculptor, sir. And good journey to you.
It happens to the best of us.
I want to say yes. And the older I get, I'm 50 years old and I work time, but my brain is fried after about 12, 16 hours at the job.
Well, yes, you had a big lot of work today on. Yes, indeed.
Yes. So we are encroaching on the 3-hour mark. We are at 2 hours, 48 minutes, and 7 seconds. And I wanted to say, Bro Man. Yes. I wanted to say, Bro Man, it has been a pleasure having you on. I definitely want you to come back and join my show. Eldor, you have been gracious enough to grace us with your presence. And of course, you're always welcome. I unfortunately missed the departure of Deeplex Customs, Jerry D. I want to apologize for that, Jerry. Again, you are more than welcome to come on the show. It was wonderful to have you. And before I actually close out the show, Broman, tell the audience where can they find you?
Same way you found me, man. I'm on Instagram. I don't have a large following. People really don't know me or who I am, but I am Bro Man. That is I am Broman of Eternia, and it'll be a Sunman. Sunman will be my the picture that you'll see. My Sunman custom.
I'm sure John here can put your link when you edit this video there. You can put your everybody's links.
Yes.
Appreciate, I just appreciate the love and the love of the craft. If I could share anything with anybody, I greatly appreciate doing that. Just very humbled in being on the panel with all of you.
Well, you're very skilled there, sir. Yes.
Yes.
I enjoyed all the pieces you showed us tonight, especially Triclops there. You're very fantastic.
Yeah, you have actually given me some really cool ideas of like repurpose. My lady just threw away a whole bunch of like old purses and bags and this and that and some old costume jewelry, and I'm just like,
never do that. I just bought a whole bunch of those skull rings, those silver skull rings. They're like $1, $2, $3 on eBay.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
I'm gonna utilize that and put that in their in their belts and their for pauldrons, for shoulder things, just whatever I can use, because it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And seeing it firsthand, I was just like, holy crap.
Right. But I thank you, man, for allowing me to be on your platform. Thank you again.
I thank you for being here.
You're very welcome, sir.
Eldor, I know pretty much most everybody already knows, but where can we reach you?
Oh yeah, you can reach me on either the IG land there or the YouTube land under this name here, Master Versal Toy Hunter. Not just Master Versal Toy Hunter on YouTube or on the IG there. You'll see my face pop up like this on the IG, and yes, a nice wee banner on my. You see me doing my magic there. The banner that Adam from Radical Toys, he designed up for me there. So you'll see that and so on. Yes. But you'll see my face somewhere on there, where it be it by the thumbnails and what have you.
I do have a YouTube.
Absolutely.
I forgot I've never posted anything on there. It's Broman on the YouTube too. So, but I have yet to build. Once I'm done with my world, then I'm really going to put forth an effort to get on the YouTube.
Well, there's one idea for you. You could film when you're working on some of your customs there.
In
Like
the meantime, if the channel is available to be able to be subscribed to, everybody please go and subscribe to Broman's channel. Even if he hasn't posted anything, it's going to be a wonderful channel to subscribe to. Please go and subscribe.
So you said that, Broman, sir. When I've been working
of course,
on my new customs here, I've been filming all that, and I'm going to be making some new segments up there called Custom Figure Time, where I'm walking through all my different, how I do my customs there. So that could be an idea for you, perhaps, for some video content there.
I thought about getting some of those snazzy Ray-Bans
in
them, but we'll see.
Indeed, take your time there, sir.
And thank you for the tips too. I appreciate
absolutely.
I appreciate being here.
Yes, sir. I definitely appreciate you being on. I definitely want to see you come back to the show, show off some more custom works, talk more about custom works. And of course, everybody, please do all those YouTube things. leave a like, subscribe, drop a comment. It helps the channel. Definitely go and subscribe to all these wonderful people. Go to IG and subscribe to Broman of Eternia. Go and subscribe to Master Versal Toy Hunter on IG and on YouTube. And of course, I am figuratively speaking. I am on IG. I am on YouTube. And thank you all. Have a very blessed night. And we will see you on the next one.
Good journey then. Cheerio.
All right.
And yes, good night there, sir.